I thought you had started.
Now I've started.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead.
Well,
Well, you got jealous last time when I started it.
yeah, because it was just incorrect.
Hi, and welcome.
No, no. Hello, and welcome back to M&K Unscripted. Today we'll be talking about love and lettuce. I forgot what it was for a second.
We literally even ate the lettuce, I promise. We just ate it.
No we didn't. We ate a lettuce individual.
That's because I wasn't planning on sharing my lettuce, and so I didn't want to give like a whole bowl of lettuce.
So
Fun fact, Kelly eats her lettuce dry.
okay, I don't need
No ranch.
No, that's actually untrue. I actually do have lettuce.
That's not untrue.
And ranch. No. I will say I have eaten it raw before. Wait, dry. What?
Uncondimented.
I don't like any of these.
Undressed.
Yeah.
That one's funny.
Okay, anyways. But that's not normally how I eat my lettuce. I actually normally have ranch or Italian dressing. I love that.
Yeah, I pretty much always have ranch. And if I don't have ranch, it's because there's no ranch available. And then I'll probably have Italian.
Yeah, so we're basically the same.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm thinking in my brain of all the different dressings that I never ever eat. Like French dressing. Never, ever, ever do I have French dressing.
I've had that before, and honestly, like, it's good. I just don't know why. I kind of forget about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never be like, I really want some French dressing right now.
Or, like, have you ever had Thousand Island dressing?
I've never heard of that.
Okay. That's I don't normally have that plain, but that goes in, like, a taco salad that I eat. And it's very yummy.
I have Caesar dressing, but only on Caesar salad.
But any salad with Caesar dressing becomes a Caesar salad, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say so.
Really? What makes a Caesar salad a Caesar salad?
Why are you yelling at me?
What makes a Caesar salad a Caesar salad?
See, I think a Caesar salad is like Caesar dressing with lettuce, obviously, and like croutons and cheese, and sometimes if you put chicken in it, it'd be a chicken Caesar salad. But I wouldn't just call lettuce and Caesar dressing Caesar salad. That's just lettuce with a dressing, you know?
Sometimes that's all I have in my salads, though.
That's fair.
Lettuce and dressing.
Me as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even have the dressing.
Yeah, for real. She really does. Just sometimes eat lettuce with no dressing.
I don't know why I always get exposed on these podcasts.
Okay, well, expose me. That's fine.
No.
You just have all the weird quirks when it comes to food.
Yeah,
but I love you anyway.
Oh, what a
nice
good
segue.
transition.
Yeah, speaking of love.
Oh, well, aren't you guys just in for a special treat as Valentine's Day approaches?
Tomorrow, actually.
Yeah. Not when we're recording it, though.
That's well, obviously. We don't record on the day we post it. But anyway,
no.
Happy Valentine's Day early.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I feel like it was really, really early this year that I feel like I started to see Valentine's Day stuff, which, like, to be fair, it was probably the normal time. Because, like, right after Christmas, they usually start, like, putting stuff in the stores for Valentine's Day.
Do you like Valentine's Day?
I don't know. I feel like yes, but also maybe it's just because I've never had a Valentine, which, like, I just exposed myself here on the podcast. But, like, I've never had a Valentine. So, like, usually it's like, meh, this is overrated. And then I don't care. But also I feel like if I were to have a Valentine, you know, perchance, that I still would think it's not, I don't know.
Why celebrate love one day when you can celebrate it every day?
Yeah, that's what also I was thinking. Almost exactly that, actually. Like, I don't know. I don't want it to be like, I'm only going to love you on this day, and I'm only going to, like, treat you well on this day and, like, give you gifts and love this day. Like, I feel like you should do that every day. Or you should do that on unexpected days. Like, I feel like it would be more meaningful on unexpected days.
Yeah, like, you're expecting to get something like chocolate or
Yeah.
Or not candy. I meant flowers or like
Yeah.
things like that on Valentine's Day. But I feel like it'd mean so much more if it was just like a random Tuesday, you know?
Yeah. Like if it was just like a random day of the year and you would do the same thing, then that would be really special.
Yeah.
But like on Valentine's Day, the expectation is that people are supposed to go all out and like spend so much money. And like, I don't know. I just feel like I'd rather get little things for 3 random days in the year than something really big on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. I feel like it's cutie. Like it's just kind of wholesome. Like I remember when I was younger, we'd have like we would give Valentines to people like in our
Mm-hmm.
class, and it was just like we had to
Yeah.
decorate this like shoebox or something,
Yeah.
and that's really cute. But then I feel like it also just like causes unnecessary drama a little bit. Like if somebody didn't get a Valentine or like you, I don't know, it's just like unnecessary.
Yeah. I also feel like once you reach the like age of romance, like if you don't have a Valentine, then Valentine's Day turns like, oh, I'm all alone. I'll never find love. I'm gonna go eat a pint of ice cream and cry in a blanket. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's just like the vibe in my head of like when people, I don't want to say complain, but like when people like are single on Valentine's Day, like that's just like the expectation. Like you're
Yeah.
either like out on like a fancy dinner spending a lot of money or you're
Mhm.
like sat on your couch.
Or you have Galentine's Day,
Yeah, because like
which is also
I know
cutie.
we've done that before,
Yeah,
haven't we? Yeah.
that's wholesome though.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Like
I'm
I
a
feel like
fan.
Valentine's Day, like yes, romantic love. Like that's the main thing. But like also, you don't have to just sit around and like be sad and alone. Like go spend time with your friends.
That's true.
Like there's a lot of different types of love.
Yeah. What do you think of Valentine's Day?
You know, I feel like I thought it was cutie and then I thought it was I have mixed emotions, I guess. Sometimes it's just another reminder that I don't have a Valentine. And sometimes it's like, oh, like I love love. Like, oh, I just love love.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just so cute. And like seeing like couples around. Sometimes I'm like ew, and sometimes I'm like, oh. It really just depends.
Yeah,
But I feel like I would feel differently if like I've had like multiple Valentines, you know?
that's true. I remember there's been a couple years in a row that I've said to Kelly, maybe this is going to be my last Valentine's Day that I'm single. Like I said that like so many years in a row, and then
Yeah.
every year Kelly's like, Megan, remember when you said that
I
last year?
think I brought it up again.
Yeah,
Like last year, at the end of the year,
that's funny.
2024. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
LOL. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know what you have on your agenda
mm,
for love.
I have lots of things.
Okay.
I have some fun things.
Ooh.
I looked up some fun facts about love.
Ooh.
Do you
That
want to
sounds
hear
like
some
fun.
fun facts?
I'd love to hear some
They're
fun
fun
facts about love.
scientific. It says 10 surprising scientific love facts from Peak Scientific. I don't know how scientific this is, but
Oh, it's probably at the peak of science.
yeah, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
Is this like romantic love or all love?
romantic love.
Okay. Ooh, slay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, fact number 1. When two lovers gaze into each other's eyes, their heart rates synchronize. Isn't that kind of cool?
That's kind of cute.
I don't know why they had to phrase it like that, but like that's kind of cute. Like how does that work? I don't understand. Like how can your heart know that you're looking at somebody that you love?
Yeah,
and
like
that,
if you're not even touching.
yeah,
Oh.
like that's kind of insane. Not gonna lie.
How did they prove that?
They probably had two people that were in love stare at each other and then
Hook them up to
test.
heart monitors
Yeah,
and yeah.
I don't know. That's
Interesting.
kind of cool.
Okay.
The second one. This is really some out of pocket facts here. Okay, there's a study that was conducted at the University of Syracuse that found that falling in love has similar effects on the body as taking cocaine.
Oh. Did they say what those were?
No,
Okay.
but that you could say
Oh.
like love is a drug. Love
Oh.
is a drug in some ways, like if they're comparing it to a literal drug. You
Yeah,
know?
I feel like it makes you insane
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. It really. We can go into that too if you want because that's also like kind of on my list.
Oh, uh-huh.
Okay, third fun fact. looking at a picture of your loved one can relieve pain. Like, literally.
Oh.
Which I guess it makes sense. Like, when you see somebody you love, you're like, oh.
Mm-hmm. I'm so intrigued by like the scientific proof of all of these. I'm like, well, how did they know? How do they do that?
Yeah.
How did they figure that out?
Like, how can you relieve, like, how can you test how much pain somebody's feeling
Yeah.
and, like, determine that it's because they looked at a photo
Yeah.
of somebody they loved that their pain is less?
Or did it just like make them happy and like make their mind forget about the pain?
Yeah. Is the pain still there? It's just not, like,
But also,
something they're
isn't
focused
what
on.
is pain? Is pain just in your mind? Ooh.
I wouldn't say so. You
Yeah.
literally can feel
Well,
things.
yeah, I know, but based on that, you would think like to a certain extent a lot of like pain is mental then.
Well, it says you can relieve pain. That doesn't necessarily mean there isn't any pain.
True.
But I will say, I do agree that pain, like, your mentality is very important.
True.
Anyways, fact number 4, which I did know, heartbreak is real. Like, broken heart syndrome is a real thing.
Like your heart physically breaks?
It says it manifests as chest pains and shortness of breath, which is often misdiagnosed as a heart attack.
Oh.
Like, you can literally die from a broken heart, which is, like, really sad.
Oh, that is sad.
Yeah. Well, like,
Aw.
obviously it's not just, like, the literal
Like
heartbreak, but
physical
it's
heart, but
like,
like mentally.
but like also physically in some ways. I guess it says
Yeah.
they have chest
Well, I
pains
suppose like
as well.
mental anguish can turn physical.
Yeah,
I suppose that's an
that is
example
so
of that.
true.
Yeah.
Like with anxiety, like that's all mental, but like it manifests physically as well.
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
actually doesn't surprise me.
dang.
Fun fact number 5. It says, have you ever had butterflies in your stomach while falling in love? This is caused by adrenaline and is the same feeling you might get when you are nervous for other reasons. I did know that. But that also is so interesting because, like, okay, are the butterflies in my stomach good or bad? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you feeling butterflies because you're nervous in, like, a way that you shouldn't be nervous? Like, being nervous is okay, but, like, you can also get butterflies when you're, like, aware of danger, you know?
Yeah. See, I have seen, granted it's on like TikTok, but like I've seen quotes before that have said something along the lines of like, don't choose the man that like gives you butterflies, like choose the man that makes you feel calm because
Mm,
like the butterflies is like not sustainable or not like I don't know how they worded it, but
yeah, I've heard that before too.
yeah.
Fun fact number 6. I think this is funny. Okay, it says eye contact is all well and good, but be careful gazing into the eyes of a stranger because it can make you fall in love with them.
Oh.
It turns out love at first sight isn't just a cliche. I'm
Oh.
like, what? How does that even work? And like, what is the definition of love then? Because that doesn't necessarily seem like love because you don't actually know anything about the person.
I'd love to talk about the definition of love. After your facts,
Okay.
we can circle back to that because
Okay.
that was on my list.
Number 7, I think, is really interesting. It says, we find people with a different type of immune system to ours more attractive. Like, how? That's like not even something you'd be conscious of. Like, that's just like insane. Like, how?
What kind of different immune systems are there? I didn't know there was more than one type of immune system.
I don't know either.
Okay, I don't know.
Weak and strong?
Well, maybe, yeah, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Opposites really do attract.
Yeah. It's kind of, yeah.
Oh.
I think it's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this reminds me of movies. Fact number 8. It says danger can play a role in making people fall in love with each other. So, research has shown that if a man meets a woman while in a dangerous situation or vice versa, they are more likely to fall in love than if they're to meet in a mundane setting.
Oh.
Which, like, it reminds me of movies because I feel
Yeah.
like, the girl is in distress and the guy's, like, going to, like, save her and then they fall in love or, like, something like that.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, why, though? Why?
I don't know, but I was going to say it's the same thing with books because that's the first thing I thought of. Like, I feel like book characters, like the two love interests, don't necessarily like they're not necessarily compatible. They're the two people in the book that obviously are going to fall in love, but then they get put in a situation that's like super high adrenaline, high danger. but I don't have a reason why that happens. And it
Maybe
sounds
it's
like it's
some
not just
sort of
books.
like, I don't want to say trauma bond, but like maybe not trauma bond, but like some sort of bond that you don't just have with like any random interaction.
Yeah.
Maybe it like goes with like adrenaline. Like if you just meet someone in like an everyday situation, they're not going to necessarily stick out to you.
Yeah.
But if you're like bonded on like something like that is super high adrenaline, like if you like are first meeting somebody and you're doing something competitive with them, I feel like you bond easier. You know what I mean? Like
Like a
you're like,
strong emotional
yeah,
experience.
yes.
And then you like tie that emotional experience to this person,
Mm-hmm.
I suppose. Interesting.
Yeah. Um, Number 9 is also really interesting. It says it's all about chemistry. People choose partners whose chemical makeup complements their own. So someone with high levels of estrogen is likely to fall for someone with high levels of testosterone.
Oh.
It's like so scientific. Like
Oh.
I never realized how scientific love can be, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's interesting.
That's crazy because I feel like a lot of attraction, well, so much of attraction is like internal.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this like scientifically explains things some.
Yeah. Or like if you even think about like you can't really explain sometimes why you're attracted to somebody or
Yeah.
why you're not attracted to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's probably scientific. Like you probably can't explain it. It just kind of is.
Yeah, your chemical makeups are just too similar.
Yeah, for real. Just start blaming on my chemical makeup.
Sorry, my immune system's too similar to yours. That's my bad.
That's insane.
That's funny.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Last fact, number 10. Love long and prosper. According to doctors, spending time with people who you love reduces the risk of an early death by 50%.
Dang.
Which like it makes sense. Like when people are loved, you like feel happier, like you do better, like physically, you take care of yourself more.
Stress levels go down for sure.
Yeah. But like 50%.
That's crazy.
50. That like shows how important it is to like it doesn't say if it means, it says just spending time with people who love you, so not necessarily romantic,
Mm-hmm.
but like
Friends and family and
yeah.
loved ones.
Yeah, it just shows how what?
I don't know. Well, duh, loved ones. Anyway.
Friends and family and loved ones. Who else is the loved one?
I don't know.
Like
Well, I don't know.
who?
I don't know.
Who is that?
I don't
When
know.
people say loved ones, it's just so interesting to me because isn't it just like friends and family? Like aren't the like
Yeah.
who else? Coworkers? But like if
Friends,
you're
family,
love
loved
them, I
ones.
feel like you'd be friends.
Well, like maybe I don't know in what scenario someone that you love you wouldn't consider a friend, but like besides romantic love, I'm not counting that because obviously you love them. But I don't know.
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my fun facts that I found. I think they're kind of cool.
Those are really interesting. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting to receive some fun facts about love.
Well, I felt like we had to have a little substantial
Yeah.
information.
A little research, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
We love that. That's so fun. Do you want to circle back to our definition of love?
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
So I don't remember which Father Mike Schmidt's video I was watching, but I think it might have been a theology of the body, which, we should put that on the list to do a podcast on. Anyway,
Okay.
He defined love basically as willing the good of the other. Like that was the definition. And also that came up. So I'm reading a book right now called Emotional Virtue by Sarah Swafford. And it's about like Catholic love and relationships essentially. And like they were also talking about love and how in our society now, love is very much like thought of as the feeling of love. Like you feel love, it's an emotion. It's something that like is very heightened, especially like in movies and like books and anything romance. And then like it can just like be fleeting because like feelings and emotions are fleeting, like they're not forever. But love, like love, true Christian love is an action, like it's a verb. And so like when you choose to love, then it really gives you the freedom to just like be committed to that love instead of like basing your love off of your feelings. And I
Mm.
think that is so pure and so fantastic because I don't know, like I feel like it's scary to think about like I don't know, I'm thinking about like romantic love, like committing yourself to somebody forever based on emotions you're feeling when you're like a young adult or like when you just meet or you're a teenager. But I feel like if you like make a choice that it's like an action that like the feelings are like solidified in that choice to act on love instead of just like
Mm.
I'm feeling love for you. Like you choose to love them.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Because then it makes me think of like, how can you fall out of love?
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm.
Like, if you have like true Christian love, I guess, as you're talking about, could you ever fall out of that? Like, unless there's something like dramatic that happens, like a major like betrayal or something like that. Like if
Mhm.
somebody like cheats on somebody else, like
Mhm.
is there ever a point if like something like that doesn't happen that you would just like fall out of love like once you've committed yourself to someone? Like if you really truly believe that definition, you know?
Yeah, one would argue you wouldn't, which also maybe that's why like in theory except for like cheating and like things like that, like marriage is forever because
Hmm.
you make that commitment forever.
Which is like insane.
Mhm.
Like committing yourself to one person for the rest of your life. Like that is like so cool. But also like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know we were just talking about that the other day and I was like that sounds so scary and then Kelly was like that sounds like so cool though. And I was like, "Oh yeah. I don't
Because
know."
just one person that you're like the person that you're going to go to for like everything for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a better thing like once I started thinking about it when Kelly was like, "Actually that's like really exciting." And like
Yeah.
in some ways it's very calming that like you would always have a committed person there
Hmm.
for you.
It's just more scary when you think about like what if that person like messes things up or something, you know?
Yeah.
Or if like you choose the wrong person.
Mhm. Or if you put your trust entirely in anything besides God. Cuz like
Mm.
even the right person, like I don't know, one of my prayers says that like you must only put the entirety of your trust in God. Like no nothing else, nobody else.
Mm.
Like even the most important people in your life. Because like everybody's human. Like nobody's perfect, but also like that's scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought like willing the good of the other just
Hmm.
seemed like the true act of love. Like I feel like you truly know when you love someone when like you will their good completely outside of yourself.
So have I've looked up definition. There's apparently 8 different types of love, which we don't have to go into all of them.
Oh, I was going to talk about four of them.
Oh. Well, I was going to transition into when you were saying willing the good of the others
Okay, go ahead.
into one of them called agape love, which is a
Mm.
selfless love. And I
Mhm.
feel like that is where what we're kind of thinking about right now.
Mhm.
Because agape love, according to let me just look at this article name. The 8 different types of love and the perfect combo for you. Okay, I don't know why that's a thing. Anyways, it's on ftd.com. I don't know what the heck that stands for. But agape love is the highest level of love to offer. It's given without any expectations of receiving anything in return. Offering agape is a decision to spread love in any circumstances, including destructive situations. Agape is not a physical act, it's a feeling, but acts of self love can elicit agape, since self monitoring leads to results. Hmm. Your spirit creates purpose bigger than yourself. It motivates you to pass kindness onto others. Which I've always heard agape love in the perspective of like God,
Mhm.
like God having agape love, like Jesus, like the ultimate like example of agape love, like literally giving himself on the cross for everyone,
Mhm.
like literally everybody in the world.
Yeah, that's the example that I thought of too. Like usually when I think of agape love, I think of God's love for us. And that in itself is like unconditional love, like you just said. But also like I suppose we should all if we're striving to be Christ like
We
also
should
strive
all
for
want,
agape love.
yeah. Like it doesn't
Oh.
it's God's love, but like that doesn't mean that we can't want like strive to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Because like honestly, we probably can't show complete agape love because we're imperfect.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we can show examples of it, but I don't think we can like fully completely ever achieve it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think true love is selfless and it is all giving.
Mm.
Like when I think of examples of people I truly love in my life, like if it was to choose between like helping them and hurting me, like I would still do it because like I just like will their goodness over me.
Hmm. And that doesn't mean like not having self-respect either. Like selflessness is like it's not like Jesus just like didn't take care of himself and like didn't I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's not just like being
Yeah,
self-destructive
correct.
to be selfless towards
Yes,
others.
I agree. I'm very much an advocate for self love. And like, I think it's so important to realize that you can't truly love anyone in a good way until you love yourself. Like, I feel like to me, that is so important. Like, being comfortable with yourself, like loving yourself, even if like you recognize your flaws, obviously, like you live with yourself every day. But I feel like for me, it's so important to love who I am and take care of myself so I can love and take care of important people in my life.
Mm. So you would say that you can the only way you can truly love others is if you love yourself. Like
I
that's
think
the
so.
bottom line.
Yeah, because I think if you truly don't love yourself, how are you ever going to love someone in a way that they deserve? Like, I feel like that's my, like, this is my personal opinion, obviously. But, like, I don't know. I feel like if someone is really, like, not comfortable with themselves and not, like, if they just, like, don't like who they are and they don't take care of themselves in a loving way, like, how are they ever going to be able to give themselves fully to somebody else? Like I feel like you need to like fill your own cup and like fill it so full that like it starts flowing over and then you like then you can give to others.
Mm.
Because if you drain yourself, like you're going to be like your cup's going to be dry and then you're not going to have anything to give.
Yeah, I'd say it's not sustainable, but I feel like I'd push back on saying that people can't still love others. Like I don't think that like I don't know. I just think of like people that struggle with like mental health and the battle of like loving yourself. But I don't think I don't know. I feel it's hard to articulate, but I think you can still love other people. But obviously it's better if you love yourself too.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'd agree like maybe that's too big of a blanket statement, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for me, it was very important for me to learn how to love myself and to see myself and like take care of myself in a good way before I could like truly love people in a way that they deserve to be loved.
Yeah, that's true. I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So, I know we talked about agape love. I don't know what 8 types of love you have on your list because I had 4 that I've heard from Father Mike on Ascension Presents. I also saw it on Google somewhere, but I'm using Father Mike as my source. So agape love was like the self-sacrificing unconditional love. The other types of love that I saw were eros, which is like the romantic passionate love that we think of like when we think of love on Valentine's Day, I guess. Um, and feel free to jump in here if like you want to add more to any of those. But the other types of love that I saw were philia, which is like the friendship brotherly type of love shared among people with similar values, and then storge, which is like the love of like a parent child kinship bond.
Mm. Yeah, those were 4 of the 8 that I had seen, but it basically because also like what about self love?
Oh, yep,
Like that would be another one.
yep, true.
But yeah, that is interesting.
I think it's crazy that love can mean so many different things. Because I feel like even like when people probably clicked on this podcast, they were like, "Oh, they're going to talk about romantic love. Here we go. It's Valentine's Day." And like I very much like, yes, it is Valentine's Day. Like, that was kind of what inspired us to do this podcast. But also, I feel like talking about other types of love are so important too, because like there's so many people in my life that I love besides just like a romantic partner.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever get like so overwhelmed with like love, like that you just don't know what to do with yourself? Like not even like romantic, but just like you just like love people.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes I'll just be like with a group of friends and I'll just look around and be like, wow, I like really love these people. And then I realize that and it's just really a cool feeling.
Yeah. I feel like I think about it more, maybe not more, but like another crazy thought is that like people choose to love me.
Mm.
When I think about like the people in my life, even like you, like who am I to like deserve your love? You're such a cool person. So
Stop.
then I'm like, wow, I like have such high respect for Kelly and I think she is like so smart and like so awesome and so kind and selfless and wise and then like she's choosing to like love me and
Isn't
be my
that
best
so
friend.
cool?
I just think
Like to
that's
have
like
people like that.
it's like it puts me in awe. I'm like, why? Like
Mm.
that's just so crazy. Like it I guess it humbles me in a way and just makes me like so thankful that
Mm.
like people have love to
Mm.
share with me because like I love you just as much, I'm sure. And like that's just crazy.
Yeah, it's like there's no obligation.
Mhm.
Like you think about family, and obviously there is you have to make a decision to like love your family members, but in some way it's just kind of like people just expect that to just love people in your family, which like
Yeah.
obviously that goes into a whole rabbit hole. Like not everybody in your family is loving and all the time, but
Mhm.
like friends, you literally make the decision to love them
Mhm.
even though you know, oh, this is a great transition into something I was going to talk about. I was saying, even though you see them as a whole person, not just like the good parts of them, but you see all of them, like the flaws and everything.
Mhm.
So I wanted to ask you a question because I thought when I was looking up love, something that came up was the show Love is Blind.
Oh.
And I'm sure most people know the premise, but basically there'll be a whole bunch of men and women that will like go into rooms and then start like basically speed dating, but they can't see the other person. And so all they're doing is just like talking with each other and like seeing if they are compatible. And then once two people decide that they want to, is it get engaged?
I think so.
They like see each other for the first time, which I thought the phrase love is blind was like based, like that show was based off of that, you know? But it's not actually because love is blind is apparently loving somebody even though like loving somebody makes you unable to see their flaws, which like the show is like literally talking about like physical like not seeing somebody.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask, do you believe that love is blind?
So when you say that, do you mean the like that you can't see people's flaws or that
Yes.
okay.
That's the part that I'm talking about.
No. I think honestly, I feel like if you truly love someone, you can only say you truly love them if you see their flaws.
Mm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to love the whole person. Like, I can think of examples before, like, where I've had crushes on guys, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, it wasn't like love, but it was like infatuation for sure. But like, the reason I knew it wasn't love, looking like back on it, is because I didn't see a single thing wrong with the guy. And then, like, I feel like once you start to like see all the flaws of people come up, or like when they start becoming human, then that's when you have an opportunity to choose to love them, which I think goes back to me saying that like love is a choice and not a feeling.
Mm. I agree.
Yeah, because I feel like the people I can think of in my life that I love, like I see their flaws. And like, I feel like if you didn't, you wouldn't be seeing the whole them because everyone has flaws. Like, if you don't
Mm.
see flaws, that means like you either don't know them well enough or they're hiding something from you.
That's like a good test. Sometimes if I'm like starting to be interested in a guy, I'll be like, okay, what are his flaws? Because then I'm like, okay, because sometimes in the past, I think it's very natural to just like be very infatuated and like
Mm-hmm.
not think about anything that they might like have wrong with
Yep.
them, I guess,
Yeah.
flaws,
Mm-hmm.
which like also having flaws is literally natural. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just I feel like knowing somebody's flaws honestly makes you love them more in some ways, like depending on what the flaws are and like how they handle them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not even what the flaws are, but how they've approached their lives. But anyways, and so sometimes they'll be like, "Okay, Kelly, what are their flaws?" So that I realize that they're not perfect because sometimes like when you first are interested, you're just going to see all the good things about the person, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good quiz. Um I found an article that is called "Is Love Really Blind?" on the Economic Times, and it says that one of the reasons that when you are falling in love with somebody, part of your brain is like deactivated. Oh, I hope you didn't hear the laundry. Anyways, like there apparently there's reduced activity in the frontal cortex, which reduces negative emotions and judgment when you're like first like falling in love with somebody,
Mm.
which explains why people might be more blind. Like literally in your brain, like you're thinking less about like having good judgment, which I think is another reason that it's so important to have people around you that care about you and know you to like kind of be the brain for you a little bit.
Yes.
You know? Like when you're
Yes.
first entering, like you're gonna go on a date for the first time, you're like entering a relationship for the first time, like I feel like it's really important to have the people that know you around you to be like, hey, by the way, like just be careful. Not to like discourage you from like going on a date or like any of that, but just to like play the brain while your brain is not working.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also feel like that's not a reason to like not be excited about falling in love. Like I still
Mm,
feel like it's fun and exciting, and that's like an exciting time you should be. Ooh la la, just like a little bit. Like when
yeah, for
else are you gonna
sure.
be? Like that's like one of the most exciting times, like the start of a relationship.
Mm,
But also I feel like that's why I'm an advocate for like being friends first, like or at least knowing the person before you like either before you get feelings or before you start like investing in those feelings, I guess.
yeah.
Like I feel like I've had experiences before, like in a really good way, like I wasn't at all interested in a guy and like I got to know him first as a friend and like I determined that like yeah, he's a really like solid person. Like he has good morals and like he's fun and like I liked him intellectually and I feel like I got to like have an emotional connection. And then when you start like pulling out the romance and like when it becomes like more than friends, then like I feel like at the beginning, like even in like the scenario I'm thinking of, like I could tell like I was not like entirely 100% coherent in like my brain. And in some ways I was like, this is really concerning. Like I'm just like literally feel blind right now to like any bad things. And so then I feel like it was good that I had the knowledge that like I had that foundation of all right, I was like intellectually aware that like he was a good person, which
Hmm.
I feel like that's why it's good to like get to know somebody first before you would like engage romantically. But also I agree it's good to like surround yourself with people with good judgment that know you and like that you'll listen to.
Yeah. And if you're the person that is like needing to be the good judgment, like don't be afraid to like tell your friend.
Yeah.
Which is not it's not supposed to be like, "Oh, I'm going to like attack this guy that they're talking to" sort of thing. No. It's just like being aware.
Yeah.
But
That's why it's good to have friends and that's why it's good to like share your interests, your parties of interest with others, you could
mm-hmm.
say.
But sometimes it's just so fun to like not think, you know?
Yes. But
Like the
that's
beginning of getting to know somebody, like really liking them is
yeah.
so exciting.
Yeah. I
And like
agree.
I don't want to think, which is like sometimes bad. Like that's bad. Sometimes it causes like bad situations and it's important to like remind yourself that you need to think.
Mhm.
But it's just so fun.
Yeah. No, I
No.
think that's exciting. I agree. I also feel like I don't know, like if you meet them and like right away you feel that way, like that's why it's good to have people. But then also like if you can like determine they're a good person before you start catching feelings, like make sure all the logic is in place of that they're a good person and then it's like okay to kind of lose yourself in the feelings a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not forever, because obviously that doesn't last forever.
Well, that's why they say the honeymoon phase.
Exactly.
Like the first few months, and then after, it's not like the love has just gone away.
Right. It's just,
It's just like grown deeper.
yeah, and your brain starts working again.
Yeah.
That'll be
The
great.
the levels are leveled, you know?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. How soon do you think you should say I love you into a relationship?
I don't think there's a one size fits all, to be honest. Honestly, I don't know if I've said this phrase on the podcast before, and I don't know where I heard it from, but heard somewhere that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Ooh.
And so, honestly, I feel like there's not like a timeline of, oh, you need to wait at least 3 months before you say I love you.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, obviously, it really depends on the context. Like, I'm not saying if you just met this person, you should go and say I love you, because even if maybe you think you do, you obviously don't. Like,
Like
you
you don't know
don't
the
know
person.
enough.
Right.
And I don't know. I feel like if you're friends beforehand and then you get into a relationship, it makes more sense if you were to say I love you like sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I think it really just depends.
Yeah.
I think you kind of got, you got to read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should never say it if you don't mean it, even if it causes awkwardness. But also, that's me being an advocate of honesty. Like, I feel like some people, like, that would be such a difficult situation to, like, have somebody say that to you and you, like, not feel the same thing and feel like you're expected to say it back.
What's worse then? If
Lying
somebody
or,
says I love you and they don't mean it, or somebody not saying I love you. And
see, in my opinion, I feel like you can't say it if you don't mean it. But if someone,
but imagine you're like in love with somebody
I
and then they don't
know,
say it back to you.
I know. And maybe that's why people wait
Yeah, because they're afraid
because they're
of
afraid
not
that they
saying it
won't
back.
say it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
That
don't know.
reminds me, do you remember what was the season with Gary on what was
The
that
Golden
called? The
Bachelor?
Golden Bachelor? Where he, one of the, I think her name was like Teresa. I think they ended up together. And he was like, "No." I think she said I love you, and he was like, "That makes me feel so special." And I just thought that was the funniest thing in the world. I'm like, why wouldn't you just say it back? Maybe he didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it really did make him feel so special, but like,
Yeah.
that's weird.
See, maybe that was him being honest, but like him saying it back wouldn't have been honest.
Yeah. And also, what is the difference between falling in love and being in love? Because couldn't you say you're always falling in love? Like every day, more and more with the people that you love, because you get to know them in different ways, in different contexts. Like there's so many different stages of life.
Yeah.
But maybe it's more like walking in love, like your companions, like after a long time of like being in love, at some point I feel like it would just be, you know them so well that you're just like walking through life with them rather than like falling into love.
Mm-hmm. And like, how do you know you're in love?
I don't know. Like,
Like, I
is
feel
there a
like,
scientific, like, once you get this level of
yeah, I don't know.
blah, blah, blah?
Well, the first thing I thought of to answer my own question was that if you desire their good over your own, willing the good of the other, like in a situation of like, I know I need to do this and it will hurt me, but like it's what's best for them, or like in a situation like that, I can think of. I don't know. That makes me think like you truly love them if you're willing to like put their wellness over like your pain or your emotional pain or something like that.
So then why do people break up if they're still in love?
I think you can love someone and realize that they're not like your life partner.
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never gone through a breakup, but
I agree.
like
Like,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know how to answer my own question, but
Yeah, I don't know. I could imagine that like being in a situation, if you truly will the good of the other and you don't think that you're the best partner for them or you don't think that they're the best partner for you, I feel like the best situation for their good and your good would be to not be together.
But who are you to like make the decision for that person? If you're like, I don't think that I'm good for you, but they think that you're good for them, you know?
Ooh.
I'm just the devil's
I
advocate
know.
here.
And then I'm like, oh, because I could, yeah. That is interesting.
You don't have to answer, and
No,
I
I
don't
know.
know the
But
answer.
like, I feel like, if you think that they deserve better, I don't know. When I started that, I was like, well, just be better then.
Real.
Like, and when I've heard people say that, when they're like, oh, you deserve so much better. Like, I'm like not gonna be with you. Like, just bro, be better.
Like, just improve.
Be the
Just
person. What do you mean?
yeah, for real. Wait, what are these men doing? They're like, oh, you deserve better. Well, just be better then.
Yeah.
Like, what?
For real. For real.
Amen to that. Let's end it right there. I'm just kidding.
All the men like taking notes,
Sorry.
scribbling. Like, write that down, write that down.
You deserve better.
Be
Just be
better.
better. Dang, that's a good phrase. All right.
You know, I've thought that every time I like see like that quote.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Why not?
Because I feel like some people see that goes back to my if you don't think you can be better, then you need to work on yourself.
Then you don't need to be in that relationship. If you can't be better so that that person deserves you, then you gotta.
Yeah. But then like in that situation, then I'm like, well, why do people break up? Maybe it's because they think that. But like then I think you need to work on something in yourself to become better. Don't just like be like, oh no, I can't be better and like give up. Like you need to work to become better.
I always say it's not about lovers or fighters. I feel like a lot of the time loving is fighting. Like fighting to be better, fighting for the other person. Like I'm not actually saying fight between the two of you, but like it's so important to like not just give up. And obviously there are scenarios where you just have nothing left to give and it's not gonna work out. But I don't know. What are the divorce rates recently?
Well, 50% of marriages end in divorce. But it's a little bit less now. I want to say it's something between 40 and 50, and I'm so sorry. I just pulled that out of my butt. I don't have a source for that. But I heard that statistic in one of my classes about a year and a half ago. And so like I don't have a source for you, but that's what it was at the time.
Yeah. And then I wonder, like, are people marrying too early where they're not actually in love, or are people not willing to fight?
Yeah. But also, like, in our generation, people are getting married later. And that's why I think, see, this is bringing back a conversation in class. Like, the divorce rate was going lower because people are getting married later. Because, like, they're taking more time to determine, is this the person for me? And so, like, you could argue that's good or bad because, like, from like a moral perspective, like they're probably more often like living together and like whatever, just like kind of dragging on a dating relationship instead of just like choosing to get married right away like our parents and grandparents' ages did. But also then those people divorced more. So
yeah,
I don't know if one's better than the other. I think it's all personal preference.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like there's not a one size fits all for love.
Yeah.
And marriage and like what your life looks like. Like some people get married at 18, some people get married at 45, 60, 70,
80.
like maybe even 90. And that is okay because that is where you're supposed to be at that time. Like I don't think, I feel like once you hit like a certain age. Yes.
Oh, you can finish your thought. I
just
had another thought.
Megan was raising her hand.
Sorry.
For the people that can't see us.
Did you hear the gasp in the microphone? I was like,
what was I going to say? Oh, once you hit a certain age, it's not just like, my life is over. Like, I'm never going to get married. Like, I don't think that's true. Love, like, it doesn't matter. Like that.
We're at 49 minutes. So did you have other things? Otherwise, I have a fun question.
Holy.
I know.
Holy.
We really yapped about love.
Wait. I really wanted to talk about one thing, and then you can ask your fun question.
Okay.
Do you remember, have you ever heard of the 36 questions that may lead to love?
Yes! I was going to bring that up before when you were talking about eye contact.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about it? Go ahead.
Okay, so there's this quiz, not quiz, but like 36 questions that this psychologist named Arthur Aron, Aron, and some colleagues conducted research to explore whether it is possible to help strangers create closeness and develop a relationship by asking a series of specific personal questions. And so there are 36 questions that the idea is if you answer with like brutal honesty and vulnerability, that you are likely to fall in love with this person.
I've heard of this experiment before because part of it is I don't know at what point, like in the 36 questions, but they have for like a period of time, they have the two people just like sit there and stare into each other's eyes. And so that's what made me think of the like eye contact thing before.
Yeah, which is like kind of insane that like literally eye contact has that much power.
Yeah.
It's like eyes. Maybe that's why I suck at eye contact sometimes.
They're the window to the soul. Like you can,
For
if you
real.
actually stare into people's eyes, like you can see so much.
Yeah.
It's really
It's
vulnerable.
kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like once I actually think about it, I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Exposed.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like so vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, like I think that'd be so fun to do those questions. Maybe I should just like, never mind. I can't say that on the podcast.
Okay.
No, maybe I should.
I don't know
like,
what you were gonna say.
I was just gonna say like go up to like strangers.
Oh.
And just like try it out.
Well, maybe I'll put them through the Megan quiz first to make sure they're acceptable.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
I can be your judgment, and then I'll let you fall in love.
You can be the counsel.
I should try that.
What?
Doing the 36 questions.
Interesting.
That'd be fun.
Say more.
I want to know more about that.
But you don't get to know.
LOL.
That's for the vault.
Oh. Maybe further down the road. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's actually interesting because that's going to segue perfectly into my question.
Oh, it's almost like we have the same brain cell.
That's crazy. Do you believe in soulmates?
Oh, we're ending with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, what do you define as a soulmate?
Well, see, I feel like that's part of your definition, your answer. Like, I feel like, what do you think of when you think of soulmate? And then you can answer the question.
I think.
Because, like, I know sometimes in the past, the definition of soulmate has been, and like this also, I think I looked this up, and it's like twin flame versus soulmate, but I kind of just use the word soulmate and I mean both. But like some people think of like when they say soulmate, they mean like there is one person in this world that your soul is tied to, and like that is the person you are meant to be with, like you are predestined to be with that person, blah blah blah. Like I feel like I don't necessarily think of that when I think of soulmate. I think of like you connect with this person on a level that is like deep below the surface. It's like some type of level that is like inexplainable, but like you feel just like tied and connected to this person in a way that you can't explain. And so then using that definition, that second one, do you believe in soulmates? Or what are your thoughts?
See, then wouldn't you say that everybody that's in love is a soulmate?
Well, does everybody feel that when they're in love?
What do you mean?
Well, like, does everybody feel connected on like a level like that?
Well, I'd say yeah, because if you're in love like that, like that's literally love. Like it's something
I would argue it's a different level.
So you say soulmate. See, I don't think that there's one person in the like whole world that is just like the perfect. I feel like that makes it seem like that. I don't know. I think love is a choice in a way of like sometimes people are always looking for better. And it's not like you should settle, but I think there are multiple people that you could probably have like a really good connection with. But I think it's about choosing and committing to one person who you have a really deep connection with and choosing to love them every day. And I don't know. I don't believe in the predestiny, like destined for anything. Like I do think like somebody's meant to be in your life, but I don't think it. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I have scattered thoughts also on this because I used to like say, yes, I believe in soulmates. And I was always envisioning like there's one person out there that is meant to be my husband and God's going to put him in my life when he does. And that's giving like predestined one person. But also like I don't know. I feel like a couple of years ago, I was thinking about this and I realized that like I could name a couple really high quality men in my life right now that I was like, if I got married to them, like I'd live a happy life. And so then I was like, well, I don't know then if that is like, if soulmates are really real, then if you can just like choose someone to love, if love is a choice and a verb and
Mm.
not entirely based off emotion, like then that would kind of debunk the idea that soulmates exist. But also, I feel like, I don't know, I truly believe that you can have a connection with someone in a way that like surpasses the normal levels of like emotional connection.
But what is normal? Like, how could we ever measure that?
I just feel like different than any other feeling. That like I don't know, I've had feelings that like I've never felt this way about someone ever before. And that is like a freaky feeling.
But does that necessarily mean you could never feel that again about somebody else?
No, but then I believe that like, see, that's why I don't think there's just one soulmate. I don't know, but I feel like being like a soulmate is like feeling that on a level that you don't feel with everyone. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like again, my thoughts are kind of scattered on this, but like,
I say, in general, like if I had to say yes or no, do I believe? I'd probably say no.
mm-hmm.
But I feel like that makes it seem like it's this big thing where it's like, oh, she doesn't believe in love. But I don't like the connotation of like only having one person or it. I don't know. Like I feel like you're just in love then. You just have like a deep romantic like love for somebody.
Yeah.
Because like love is unexplainable in some ways. Like people do crazy things. Like people fight wars for love. Like they murder people for love. Like
mm-hmm.
it makes you do insane things, and that's not like rational and good
Yeah.
necessarily.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I feel like if I had to answer the question, I would say yes, I do believe in soulmates. But again, I don't mean like there is only one person I could ever be happy with, but like I feel like I can't even describe what I mean by like there's just like a connection that you feel in a way that feels different from any other connection you've had.
yeah, I think the general consensus though of soulmates is one person, even though your definition is
Okay, then I
multiple.
think I mean twin flame, which again I like mentioned before, but I feel like
Yeah,
one of my friends looked this up
I
and they
think
were
that was
like,
me.
I was not going to say you.
I definitely looked it up,
Okay,
but maybe
maybe we were with the
multiple
friends I
people
was
looked
thinking of.
up.
But yeah, like I feel like then if I'm remembering right, like twin flame was like what I'm describing.
Yeah,
And then I feel like that is real. I believe in that.
yeah. Hmm.
Fascinating.
Crazy.
All this fun stuff around lovely Valentine's Day.
Uh,
Pink is my favorite color if you didn't know. I'm
Pink
so
is
excited.
just so cutie.
I
We
love,
have these M&K pillows
yeah, we
that
bought
are
them.
pink, and they're like flowery and they're so cute, and they're just
Pink.
sitting on our couch, and
Kelly
like every
says
time I walk
pink.
in I just see them and I'm like, ah,
They're so cute.
adorable.
We love
Yeah,
pink.
we love.
Oh,
And speaking of love, we love you.
yes, we do.
So if you love us, please contribute to our fund. Just kidding. That was a joke, just so you're aware.
But like, we wouldn't say no if you were to
I
contribute.
mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're at 58 minutes. We need to be done.
Wow, this is a long
Yeah,
podcast
we were
about love.
yapping. Thanks for listening to us yap about love.
And we love you.
Yes, we do. Very much. Happy Valentine's Day.
Ciao.
Bye.